What's going on, everybody? This is James Grandmaster Facts Boys, and you're here for another Facts Project review. Today, we are going to be talking about Mad Cave Studios' Spectrum, Issue 4, written by Rick Quinn and illustrated by Dave Chisholm. Obviously, this has been one of my favorite projects this entire year. I've actually had a chance to have both the writer and the illustrator of this series on the podcast just as much as a month ago to talk about issues 1 and 2. But to get right into issue 4, we're talking about Melody and Ada are now traveling inside of a song, learning more about Melody's powers and literally the shared traumas that they experience and understanding what song does to them. Of course, this is all going without saying the search for Ada's father, Leon, who right now we're going into like these flashback sequences to where Leon is in Paris recording an album with George Parker, this mysterious George Parker, who happens to be at a sort of an impasse with Echo, who is the main antagonist in the series that we saw in issues 1 and 2. But necessarily, we start to even go even further back to where you're looking at a point in time where Echo was living in happiness in a world of complete silence. And until she met someone who kind of looks like George Parker, the producer that's working on Leon's album. And it's almost like when silence met sound. And it kind of brings this all together because this one particular book, of course, is about the, I'm going to say the trance-like state that music puts you in and how it can mold you into escapism and basically take you completely out of the realm of reality. And in this book, just through the stories that you saw from Melody and what you saw from Ada, it's necessarily has come to a point now to where it's all going to merge. What you come to find out with Leon and how he's been working with George Parker this entire time, to where he's trying to construct almost the perfect song, or better yet, find the right tone. As being a musician that Leon is, and somebody who is somewhat of a perfectionist. Not to say that he's even a failed artist, but he's tried so hard to not, he has no concern with being successful, but he just wants to be a great musician. And sometimes, if you look at artists that I've listened to in the past, that sometimes take about 10 years to record an album to give you maybe around like 10 to 12 songs. Like take a person like Sade, who doesn't do an album unless it's like every decade, or better yet, D'Angelo, who only has 3 albums actually produced and out to the public, but has probably more than thousands of pieces of work. Or somebody like Prince that like just has concoctions of songs, or somebody like Tupac that has tons of songs, but yet is only giving you a smidgen of what the artistry actually is. And I feel like this book reminds me of such artists that have been taken completely entranced by their music, their role, and through this story of Melody and Ada just merely looking for a connection with not only Ada having this kind of like supernatural power with music that herself that causes her to grow wings like a butterfly, or better yet, the way that they're doing right now where they're traveling in a train, but yet they're traveling through a song. It's something that we all deal with. It's the goosebumps that you get on your arms while listening to a song that's just right. But yet, from a musician's perspective, it's somebody that doesn't feel right, or better yet, that they're reaching their own personal satisfaction unless certain things are at play. And being a perfectionist can possibly cause that. Ultimately, I feel like it's going to come to a head This whole battle between silence and sound, Echo and George Parker, is going to come to a bigger role here. And the cliffhanger as such is going to be that confrontation. So can't wait for issue 5. Of course, for all of us here at the Facts Project, I love what Rick Quinn and David Chisholm are doing with this story. They've done a fantastic job. I implore anybody that is a lover of music and is a lover of comic books to please read these issues. Even though it's seen through the eyes of 2 teenagers just basically like traveling through the music that they love, and it's almost also built into like a science fiction, time traveling, utopia type storyline that you have before you. It lays out perfectly, and I'm always taken aback by every time these issues basically come out. And it's going to come out again next month, and I can't wait to talk about issue 5. But for myself here at the Facts Project, I will be talking about Mad Cave Spectrum issue 5 come April. So look out for that next time on the channel. I will see you guys next time.